Okay, so in this episode, I'm going to talk about how a notebook can help you make $1 million. And you might think, what? But essentially, why would a notebook help you to make $1 million? It's very, very simple. And you might think, oh, that's ridiculously simple. But it's basically this. Because if you have an idea in your mind, it might be $1 million idea. I have like congestion in my nose, so bear with me. It might be $1 million idea that you have in your mind. But if you don't write it down, is it fair to say that you might be less likely to achieve that idea or make that idea a reality, right? And don't just make life about money or anything like that, but just on the topic of making dollars, you might have a great idea, a good idea that might make a lot of dollars. Might be a really good idea, really profitable idea, whatever. But if you don't ever write it down, because at some point, probably anyone that's had a good idea has at some point documented it or expounded upon it or added to it in some sort of written form or verbal form or some sort of documentation type format. So just think of a notebook as a way to document your $1 million idea, if you have one, or whatever ideas, and maybe those ideas or idea could change your life, right? But if you never write it down, if you just think about it and then forget about it, then maybe that's it, So when you have a good idea, write it down, because you never know, right? And this, how much did this notebook cost? This notebook, let's say this was somewhere between $1 and $3.50, So you spend a few dollars or whatever on a notebook, but then with your pen, you write in it something that could change your life. And maybe it's that simple. Now, obviously, you have to build upon the idea, act upon how you're supposed to act upon it. You have to do things. But doesn't it all start somewhere? And so why not start it by writing it down and then trying to figure it out? Hopefully, if it's a good thing. You never know what's going to happen. So anyway, get a notebook. Thank me later. Have a good day.